Hey, I'm Scott, and I'm an American in Bangkok, and I got a letter. Actually, I got a comment, and I feel this comment needs to be read. I was talking about the future normal here in Thailand, and I got a comment, and this guy, uh, Robotic Eye, left the comment that says people need assurances that they will be okay if they have adverse effects from the solution, that solution being the vaccine. Personally, myself and many others don't want to go outside and risk COVID to get a vaccine that also might hurt us. I'm going to stop right there. I understand that, vaccines do harm people occasionally. But when you look at the masses of people that have been vaccinated around the world, and you look at the numbers of people who have suffered serious consequences just from the vaccine. I'm not talking about they had a heart problem before, or they had diabetes or whatever it was, and they took the vaccine and something happened. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about directly from the vaccine. I think you'll find the percentage is extremely small. Okay? And this is going to happen with any vaccine. It's not just some conspiracy from the governments around the world to kill people with the vaccine. So I'm going to stop that right there. But let me go on. Not only do they not have room to save people with COVID and push them into the street, he's referring to here in Thailand, they also don't have the resources to save you from the vaccine if you aren't reacting well to it. Well, I don't know that you know that because I don't believe that you are a doctor, Robotic Eye. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that that's true. I think that depending on what the consequence of receiving the vaccine, depending on the consequence, will determine whether or not they're able to help you. Now, I think that in general, the Thai hospitals are very good. They are overwhelmed at the moment. So, that's what I'm going to say to that. I am not anti-vaccine, but am pro. You better be prepared to fix my ass if I'm doing society a favor by getting it. No, you're not doing society. Well, I mean, yeah, okay, you may be doing society a favor, and you're doing the human race a favor, but you are definitely doing yourself a favor. It's not like you're not getting a benefit from getting vaccinated. And they better be prepared to fix my ass. Well, maybe your ass can't be fixed whether you get the vaccine or not. I mean, unless you're getting checkups all the time and you're in perfect health, and sometimes people that look like they're in perfect health aren't. So, I mean, this is it's bordering on ridiculous, some of your comments here. But there are no assurances, but there's tons of pressure. Well, there's no pressure, at least not from my standpoint. If I want to get the vaccine, I can get the vaccine. I can become vaccinated. And I did. I didn't have one side effect, not a single side effect. Now, obviously, this is fairly short term. I don't know long term. I guess I'm willing to take that risk. Okay? But the pressure, I know people who still have not been vaccinated because they just haven't taken the time to go get vaccinated. It's just not all that big of a deal to them. Maybe they don't go out that much. Maybe they don't have to. Now, as far as the pressure goes, maybe in the future it's going to be like, hey, if you're not vaccinated, at this point, we need to make sure that we keep all unvaccinated people out. That can happen, and I'm sure it has happened already in certain countries. But let me go on here. I want to get it, but I'm waiting until they can save me before I venture out with the girlfriend again. I don't know that they're ever going to be able to save you, and neither do you or your girlfriend. I mean, the thing is that you're acting like, the vaccines, they kill all kinds of people. They kill a very, 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 very small percentage. And I mean, I don't know what the difference is between getting hit by lightning and dying from a vaccine. I'm going to say that dying from a vaccine is probably a little more likely than getting hit by lightning. But if I'm thinking that way, there's a reason for it. And it's because I don't think very many people die directly from a vaccine. If they had a system that protected when we get it, it'd be easier, but there are no protections. Well, listen, sometimes in life, things are what they are, and they're not perfect, and sometimes the outcome is not always 100% certain. You're dealing in medicine, you're dealing in people's bodies. So nothing is ever going to be 100% certain. So I don't know why you're even getting into this, but Sinovac is not accepted by many countries, by the way, to travel. Well, I do know that, and one of the things is that that's okay with me for now, and I will get a booster in the next few months once I am able to do so. And then if need be, I will get more vaccines. I mean, what I got to do, what I got to do. And that's fine with me. Personally, I don't think I'm going to need more than that. But if I need more than that to get back into the United States or something like that, which I don't think I do, all I have to do is go into some drugstore and get vaccinated. So, that's not stopping me. Now, he also left a comment that said, I'd just like to point out that I work here legally and have not been offered the vaccine. Well, I will say this as well. I don't know a lot of places that have said, we're going to take care of the vaccine for you, we're going to schedule it for you, we are going to find out where you can be vaccinated. I know some companies have done that. My wife's company made an appointment for her. It's not until next month. Now, she found out that there was a place nearby that she had the ability to go and get vaccinated. She got the AstraZeneca a couple of weeks ago. So she lucked out, and her company, they're farther down the line. If you really, as a foreigner, if you want to get vaccinated, you got to hustle. You got to go out there and find a place to get vaccinated. If you're under, say, 60 and you don't have any serious illnesses, it makes it a little more difficult. But you can always call up different hospitals. You can go online. There are places that you have been able to go on and register and make appointments. They weren't always easy. They didn't always work, but that's how things go. And you have to put yourself out there, and you have to go and look to the place where you're going to be able to get vaccinated. It's not going to come to you. In most cases, nobody's going to come up to you and say, hey, we got you a vaccination spot. Now, maybe your company can do that for you, or maybe it will. I don't know. But that's so far. What I know is I know a couple of people, one in particular who is getting vaccinated today, and basically he didn't want to go back to the United States for a number of reasons. I know two people, they didn't want to go back to the United States because it just cost too much money to go all the way over there and then to wait and get their next shot and then come all the way back and deal with all the quarantine and that sort of thing here. They didn't want to deal with it. It's too much of a hassle and it's costly. So they figured, I'll wait here. They waited around, and eventually they found places that will vaccinate them. But they had to go on the hunt. They had to look for these places. These places didn't just come right out. Now, if you're looking at the news on a regular basis, or you're just checking on what's going on with the COVID in Thailand and you live here, it's fairly easy to get the details. There's always numerous sources out there that will tell you where you can go and get vaccinated, what's the current situation, and I think that's what you have to remember is it's not going to come to you. It's just like most of the time, if you want a job, and unless you are particularly proficient at a particular niche job, or you're well known in your industry, jobs don't just come flying out of the woodwork and say, hey, buddy, you want to make 150 grand a year? We got a job for you. Give us a call. I mean, you know, how many people do you know that that happens to? I know a few, but like in most cases, you got to go job hunting. The job's not going to come hunt you. In some cases it will, but I'm going to use the 80-20 rule, and I'm going to say 20% of the time that happens, and 80% you got to go hunt the job. Okay? So, and what I responded to this guy and said was there have been several registration methods offered, but you have to be proactive. Otherwise, you have to wait until the country gets more vaccines. And as a foreigner, you're in the exact same place as Thais are. Some Thais have been vaccinated. Some Thais are waiting to be vaccinated. Some Thais want to wait for Moderna. A few of the wealthy Thais have flown over to the United States or elsewhere to get vaccinated. And that's just the way it is. So, no, I don't see anybody really that's going to come out and say, hey, buddy, you want a vaccine? Other than the company you work for. That's it. You know, otherwise you gotta look at the news, you gotta keep up with things. It's on you. And this is what I've said also as well. When you're in Thailand, you better take care of yourself, because the government's not gonna take care of you. They're not gonna take care of you. You know. Now I got lucky, and I did have to it took me about an hour and a half of me trying to find different places, different times, and different vaccines to finally get an appointment. It took me an hour and a half of just non-stop looking for different times and locations and vaccines. Now, had I just given up after the first minute or two, I wouldn't have got a vaccine. You know, that's how it works. So, anyway, that's all I have. I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Until next time, choke the leo jerk and my. That's good luck. See you later. Please do me a favor. Leave a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And check down in the description. There's a host of ways that you can support the site. You can also just click join down below and become a sponsor of my YouTube channel. Or you can get yourself a t-shirt. That's another way. But all the ways are down there in the description. And that's all I have. Until next time.